hoping that we can shine a light on what's good in all of us. I mean, it's not about a TV program. It's about a movement. It's about the opportunity to see ourselves and others, and maybe encourage us to do more good. And the Doing Good movement is hopefully something that'll challenge people, encourage people, inspire people to just think about some of their decisions, some of their activities, and some of the things that they're a part of. And for all the violent nature of things that we've experienced over the last several years, I just think we need this. Doing good is the right thing to do. Doing good is worth it. Doing good is valuable. Doing good is necessary. Sit down and talk with them in the boardrooms, in the lounges, in the sidewalks. I want to get footage of people all over the place doing good things for strangers, for neighbors, for friends, for organizations, for causes, initiatives. And if we can just do one small portion of the good that's in the world, highlighted in this show and all of our platforms, I think it can make a difference. Welcome to another episode of the Doing Good Movement. I'm your host, Tom Brown. We're excited to bring some very special people to you today because we all could use a little positive TV. First up, I want to bring a very dear friend and a tremendous leader, Marty Janis, who's the president and CEO of Atlantic Services Group. While his business success is well documented, I sat down and talked to this gentleman about his heart and some of the impressions from his youth that led to some of the contributions he's still making today that's touched the lives of thousands of young people throughout the Washington, D.C. metro area. Next up, we show you how we hang out with community leaders, neighbors, friends, as we share a Thanksgiving and a holiday blessing with homeless families throughout Washington, D.C. at the Union Temple Baptist Church with the Village Keepers. Then later on, we slid on up the road, still staying in Southeast Washington and Ward 8, to the beautiful art facility that's on Mississippi Avenue, where we celebrated Dancing with the Scholars, a wonderful program that raises funds for scholarships for young people coming through various high schools in Washington, D.C. And last, we have a very special segment today as we're coming up on the 1-year anniversary of the passing of what we call in D.C. the Mayor for Life, Marion S. Barry Jr. And hopefully you'll enjoy those pieces today because the Doing Good movement is ready to go. We're glad you tuned in.
That was good to say. I think something that Quincy does a very good job of, when we normally think of a shelter, it's a very cold environment. People are just coming in. You might get something to eat. You sleep for the night, and then you're up in the morning and you're out. But he's really created a home environment at Safe Haven. That's our immediate housing facility for homeless youth ages 18 to 24.
How many does it hold?
36 beds.
Wow.
How many of those are moms and babies?
6 for moms and babies.
Oh, awesome. And music icon. So there's one identity that most people can easily find. But what I love about the interview and the things I learned is there's a whole nother beat that you're out here walking to. And actually you're leading a beat that's leading people to a legislative mindset around youth empowerment and a whole piece that deals with conflict resolution.
Yes.
And so that's a whole other identity. And what I love about it personally, being a native Washingtonian, is it kind of takes the genre of go-go to another dimension in the way that we can serve our community. Nobody did it better than the Godfather, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
Chuck
We
Brown.
also work with those who are entrepreneurs but still aren't being as productive as they should be.
Yeah.
And if we can help them be more productive, of course, that turns into more profit.
No doubt about it.
So
We all can use that.
Right, so we help them to turn that procrastination into productivity, into profits.
Wow.
So
Hold up, procrastination to productivity to profits. Yeah, I like where you're going with that.
Yeah, so
the 3 P's.
The
Did you get that?
The 3 P's.
This segment is brought to you by Monument Enterprises, your complete facilities service provider with many maintenance solutions and one point of contact, offering property management, operations and maintenance, janitorial services, and much more.
had a chance to sit down and have a whole lot of fun with a very dear friend, Marty Janis. He's the president and CEO of Atlantic Services Group, company he's run for 20 years, and they do transportation, valet services, and many other great services throughout the DC metro area. But this gentleman is someone who, while all the successes he's experienced in business, he's never forgotten the lesson of his dad when he was just 10 years old. And that led him to a relationship with me and others like me, and his service and support for hundreds, if not thousands, of young people over the last couple of decades. So the Doing Good movement finds us over here at Atlantic Services Group, the president and CEO and longtime friend, Marty Janis. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, Tom.
Listen, man, you all hear what he said? The show is doing good. He said he's doing great. We're off to a superstar already.
Start there, it can even get better.
So, Marty, it's been a while. It's my first time in your new digs. But I want to know, how long have you been in the parking industry?
30 years.
No way.
Yeah, actually,
years?
a little more than 30, but yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much 1985.
So how did it all come about? Was it just something, did you woke up one day and say, I want to do parking? Or was it something that you kind of...
It was a life dream of mine.
Wow.
No. I was in college, needed to get a job to make some money, pay some rent, and found my way into the valet parking.
Wow.
And I got an opportunity to do valet parking part-time, and it became a lot of fun. I had a lot of opportunity with it to do something. So looking forward to graduating, I was up at Georgetown, and looking forward to graduating, I could either get a real job or I could try something different and do my own thing. And so I partnered with people that were in the garage business. Erwin Edlovich, Mark Sullivan.
Yes.
Joined in with them and started Atlantic.
Well, and I know, I recall our paths initially crossed. We were both in a program working with youth around youth entrepreneurship. So certainly from your background, you had a lot of pedigree and experiences that I know that you shared. You had a lot of passion. And at that time, I remember, being over in Southeastern Anacostia, spirits kind of locked in, and I wound up leaning on you and saying, listen, I want to really make a difference and impact in the streets, particularly over in Ward 7 and 8 where I'm from. And I was so appreciative of the fact that you got the vision about the same time that I got it, that I really could do something special, and went on to help me start Training Grounds, which is now 11 years old. I just remember all those beginning times, just coming to you for a check every 2 weeks, just trying to figure out. But I mean, we've since now touched thousands of lives through that movement, and there's a lot of people, a lot of young people who've gone on to school, people who have gainful employment. Some have come through here, Atlantic Services Group, through on-job training, and so it's just been a great experience. And I'm just wondering, from all the things you're busy with, family and business, how do you find time to just contribute to other people that you may not even meet? Where does that come from?
Well, a couple things. First of all, when you're in business and you have a business that does well, or however it does, you're very fortunate. So you have to remember how you get there and to get back. I grew up, and it's funny, my father once, this is where I got it, I was probably 10 years old, and he gave someone who was homeless lunch. And I said, why are you giving him food? And he said, but for the grace of God, there go I. When I was 10 years old, I never forgot that.
Yeah.
And I just thought to myself, wow.
How cool is that?
And it's stuck with me. And it's just something so that I made a decision young, when I had an opportunity to do that, I would give back whatever that looked like. So when I didn't have money and I was 16 years old, I was a big brother to a young kid in Chicago. When I was in college, I would just literally go out on holidays and take $50 out of my Riggs bank account.
Wow.
And I would just hand out $5 to people that were out in the cold. So it was just, you do what you can do. And then probably the most important aspect of it is when you meet people like you who have that passion, you feed into it. And so when I met you when we were at Training Grounds, and you were a teacher and I was a donor and everything else on the board, is I saw that passion. And you pulled me in. I wanted to be a part of it.
But you've done some other really cool things that have nothing to do with Training Grounds, just humanity. I know working with foster children here in D.C. has been a big passion of yours. I always liked how you would light up even our board meetings with how the great things are happening there. Can you talk a little bit about
Yeah.
doing more than one good thing, not just one good thing, but you kind of found your way to do more than one thing?
So a lot of my interest in terms of giving back is around youth, as you've seen. And so years ago, probably about 10 or 11, 12 years ago, through Partners for, it was the DC Family Services Agency, they had a holiday toy drive. And so you adopt kids and you buy their gifts, their wish list, and you bring them to the agency and they would distribute them to kids. And I got to meet Beatrice William, who heads up the program.
Yes.
And Beatrice is another one with that passion that I was just pulled right into it because it's a governmental agency. Let's create this board and called Partners for Kids in Care. And it was this board of business, people in the business community gathering together to, it's not about money, it's goods and services. That's an easy draw.
Yeah.
You know, everyone's asking everyone for a check. Now we're just asking, hey, if you're in the publishing business, do you have any books? You know, if you're in the furniture business, do you have any furniture that, you know, it's all the damaged goods that you can't resell, but it's...
And oftentimes those things go further than any check or money for people who are in dire situations.
It makes a huge difference.
No doubt about it.
So that's what pulled me into Partners for Kids in Care, and we've been doing that for, it's like 10 years now. And it's been 10 years, actually. The prom program or whatever it might be, it's making a difference for those kids that one day. And you got it.
Tremendous, isn't it?
Well,
that response you get to see. And
you do. When you see it in them, when you get some of the feedback from the kids, because you don't ask for it, sometimes you get it. Yeah, it makes a difference.
So how long have you been running? What's that about? Is something you grew up doing your whole life?
I used to play a lot of. I played baseball growing up, but I played a lot of basketball for exercise. And as you know, because you and I played basketball, it's going to come up. You and I played basketball.
Yes, we did.
So I'm going to be very careful to comment on your game because my game isn't any better. So I'll just leave it at that. I played for a long time though, and that's where I got my head clearing. You know, just go out and play basketball. And when kids came on board, with two wonderful kids when I had the children. Not so easy to get to the gym, but very easy to go out and go for a run or go for a bike ride, outside the house, that type.
Well, listen, Marty, it's been great. I know you have a busy schedule. I just missed my friend, so it was great to come up here and hang out with you. This Doing Good movement is about the things that you and I have been working together on for about 15 more years, just making a positive impact on the world around us. And you're definitely somebody who's doing that. I just want to tell you how much I appreciate everything and all the thousands of lives you've been committed to over the years. And I just want to tell you, man, keep on doing good. Thanks, brother. Appreciate you, man.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Training Grounds, Inc. is a 501c3 nonprofit established over 10 years ago. Our mission is to assist youth and adults with personal, career, and leadership development through training and support services.
I'm walking to jobs. I'm getting on the bus for jobs. It's like I'm hungry. I don't want to stop.
I'm working. I'm a full-time mom. I'm happy, and I think I'm a success.
For more information, visit www.traininggroundsdmv.org.
I'm somewhere in my future, and I look much better than I look right now.
This past week, we had such a great time. The Doing Good movement family went on the road in Ward 8, Southeast DC. Our first stop was at Union Temple Baptist Church, where the Village Keepers fed over 300 family and children and also gave out free clothing for the holiday and just for a blessing. And some of her great volunteers and staff. We even stopped and chatted with the Queen Mother of the church. So we're so excited about that. We had a good time. Hope you enjoyed this clip, and we'll talk about some of the other exciting things that happened later on that evening when we get back on the Doing Good movement. I'm your host, Tom Brown.
Well, listen, every time I've seen you, brother, you serving other people.
Yeah.
You giving up hugs and love out on the street, all around the community.
The Village Keepers, man, what it is the homeless ministry. We go out.
So the homeless, there's an actual homeless ministry.
It's the homeless ministry,
okay.
yeah.
Homeless
That's what we
ministry.
call it, the Village Keepers. So what we do, once a month, twice a month, we'll go out into the community, DC General, 801 shelter, the men's shelter, which has got 650 brothers up there, man. So we go up there and we feed them, hug them, give them, pray with them, whatever. Try to get some information every time we take clothes up there, man. And not just that, we have a thing called the blessing bag.
Blessing bag.
The blessing bag is what, it's a gallon bag, and we put like cookies, water, soap,
I'm trying to get my
toothpaste.
blessing. I got a bag with
So
my name on it?
if you in your car, you see people all the time on the
Yes, sir.
street.
Yes, sir.
You got a blessing bag in your car.
I love it.
Just
man.
give them that bag, man.
Listen,
It's
doing
not,
good.
you know what I'm saying? It's
Yes.
like
See, that's it. But listen,
Yeah.
the Doing Good movement is exactly that. An action item.
Right.
Something you can do.
Right.
So you already have the blessing bag.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to encourage people. That's what this whole platform is about.
Yes, sir.
Encourage
Yes,
people
sir.
everywhere around the world to just do something good.
Do
Whatever
something
you're
good.
doing good is, you can give out blessing bags. You and your church can organize something like this. But at the
Yes,
end of the day,
yes, yes.
we encourage people to do good in the world around them.
Yes.
And that's the whole point of this movement here. And I'm so glad.
I
know you got a lot
appreciate you,
to do.
man.
I love you. I love
appreciate
your
you, man.
spirit.
I
And I'm
love you,
grateful to
brother.
have you here.
My name is Black Washington. I'm street correspondent here on the Doing Good show. And I have a very special guest with me today, and your name is?
My name is Betty Lee, L-E-A.
Now, how long have you been a member here?
I've been a member here for 40 plus years, almost
Wow.
50. I've been here almost as long as Reverend Wilson.
Oh, wow.
Absolutely.
Wow, that is wonderful. So, for the people that don't know about this spectacular event, could you please just share with them a little bit of what you do and why you do it?
Well, we believe in helping people here at Union Temple, and today's event is feeding and helping the homeless.
That's always doing good.
Absolutely, and they've been doing this for about 16 years. Actually, I haven't been with them all of the time.
Right.
But when Sonia called out for help, my sister and I decided to come and help her. So we cooked a lot of food and came down to help serve.
Now, let me ask you this, because a lot of people, when they do things like this, they have motives. But none of the people that I've met here had any motives. They're doing it from their heart.
Absolutely.
And when I walked in the building, I got hugs, I got kisses, and I like...
And that's what Union Temple is all about, a family affair.
Right.
We believe in the families getting together, do things. So helping the public come in,
Right.
that's like the family as well.
So can you tell the people where you're located so they can bring clothes and fellowship with you guys?
Sure, it's Union Temple. We're located at 1225 W Street Southeast, Washington, D.C.
You heard it here first on the Doing Good show. Thank you. It's been a pleasure. You are such an amazing spirit, and I hope that we can get other people to join this movement.
I
that we
hope
call
so
Doing
too.
Good.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes,
How long
it
you
is.
been a member of this church?
Since 1977.
Since 1977.
In the old church.
You was just what, a toddler back then? You was about 7 or 8 years old?
Just crawling. I was crawling.
Just crawling. I
But
stand correct. You were just crawling back
right,
there. I'm so
because I'm
sorry.
84 now.
84.
So, I was just
Listen,
crawling.
you are as beautiful 84 as I've ever seen.
Thank you very much.
I just want to tell you, I appreciate what you all are doing here. I appreciate the spirit that this church represents
That's our
and the
church.
love for community that you all represent.
You know, our motto is a family affair. And we don't consider the family just within these walls.
That's right.
We are a community church.
Without a doubt.
A community active church. And our pastor is so busy. He loves his people. And we're just so blessed to have him as our pastor and his whole family.
Yes, and the Wilson family, Pastor Mary, Pastor Willie, the whole family has been a blessing to hundreds of thousands, literally millions.
Right.
I'll dare say. You know, sister, I love you. Thank you so much for inviting us out. This has been a wonderful experience. Listen, so tell me how you feeling right now. I mean, you tired, you exhausted, you got 100 more meals you want to get out. You're doing good. Okay, you'll keep it right there.
I think that was good to say. I think something that Quincy does a very good job of, when we normally think of a shelter, it's a very cold environment. People are just coming in. You might get something to eat. You sleep for the night, and then you're up in the morning and you're out. But he's really created a home environment at Safe Haven. That's our immediate housing facility for homeless youth ages 18 to 24.
How many does it hold?
36 beds.
Wow.
How many of those are moms and babies?
6 for moms and babies.
Oh, awesome.
And music icon. So there's one identity that most people can easily find. But what I love about the interview and the things I learned is there's a whole nother beat that you're out here walking to. And actually you're leading a beat that's leading people to a legislative mindset around youth empowerment and a whole piece that deals with conflict resolution.
Yes.
And so that's a whole other identity. And what I love about it personally, being a Washingtonian, is it kind of takes the genre of go-go to another dimension in the way that we can serve our community. Nobody did it better than the Godfather, in my opinion, Chuck Brown.
We also work with those who are entrepreneurs but still aren't being as productive as they should be.
Yeah.
And if we can help them be more productive, of course, that turns into more profit.
No doubt about it.
So
we all can use that.
Right. So we help them to turn that procrastination into productivity into profits.
Wow.
So
procrastination to productivity to profits. Yeah, I like where you're going with that.
Yeah, so
the 3 P's.
The 3
Did you get that?
The 3 P's.
The night continued on in wonderful Ward 8 in Southeast Washington, D.C. We went on over to the Ark where Dancing with the Scholars was going on. A lot of community leaders, a few council members, and our great friend Wanda Lockridge had her wonderful event and even had a birthday dance on her birthday. Listen, it was so much fun going on. I can't tell it all in this clip, but hopefully you'll see what some of the people felt coming out of the event that were part of the event, and you'll be blessed. And guess what? We were still doing good, y'all.
Absolutely, absolutely. So I thought I was going to be able to get a little bit of rest after tonight, but we actually get started for our International Ambassadors Program where we take kids to Africa. We leave December the 26th, the day after Christmas. We'll stay there 10 days, and this is the kind of event that helps support that because there is no fees to the parents, there are no fees to the students, and we go over there and we teach them different cultures, and we teach them soft skills that they can bring back to the United States. So we're getting ready for that.
I am excited. The Doing Good movement is here live. We're at the Ark. We definitely just had a wonderful evening. We're dancing with the scholars, and I'm blessed to have our council member from Ward 8, LaRuby May.
I'm just really grateful for Wanda Lockridge continuing the legacy of her husband, and it's really exciting to me that she takes students to Africa. And I've been to the continent a couple of times, and so to expose our children to Africa and really our heritage and just being able to be a participant and be a part of this is just outstanding. So I'm really grateful to be a part of it.
So when Ms. Wanda says she's put this thing together, I'm obligated to stand in the gap and fill those shoes and make sure we give scholarships out. We give out a fund for kids who are having trouble paying for their books. Throughout the years, beyond the scholarship. So we're doing a lot of things in the community.
Because you're a veteran, you're a pro, the way you handle yourself up there. So tell me how you feel to be a judge. Is it pressure? Is it fun? What are you looking for?
This is a fun event and it's a good cause. So, I mean, it's all in fun. I try not to be tough, but somebody has to put a little fun to the whole event.
Let me tell you something. The crowd reaction every time you said something was tremendous. So it was all good.
Well, today I know a lot of people are starting to reflect even more on a tremendous man, father, husband, and leader, Marion S. Barry Jr., who literally took the city of Washington, D.C. for the last several decades on his shoulders. And some people who otherwise wouldn't get the kind of support, love, and opportunity were driven to prosperity, support, and safety. This is a friend of mine, so I'm going to bring it to you straight. If you go around Washington, D.C. and surrounding areas, most people will tell you they got their first job through the Marion Barry Youth Leadership Institute. So today, as we come up on the 1-year anniversary of his passing, I just wanted to take time out on this show, the Doing Good Movement, to pay homage to my friend, my mentor, and a great leader, Marion S. Barry Jr. I hope you enjoy.
He's a teacher. And even though he's been gone a year, there are certain times when you can still, things that I think that he taught me long ago is now something that I do need. And I forgot how much he has taught.
Yeah, you know, I would probably say, you know, if there was one word to describe Mary Berry, be brilliant.
Yes.
Probably one of
Great
the
choice.
smartest men I know, and had a memory.
Chemistry major, right?
Yeah, chemistry.
Degree in chemistry.
And
Who does that?
And it's obvious. I mean, it was obvious from his memory. I mean, he could talk about things that happened 30 or 40 years ago like they happened yesterday, and remember details. So it's just really an honor for me to be able to interact with him and to watch and see his leadership and the effect he's had on this community.
When Marion Berry started the program, he selected 2 young people out of every public housing site in the city. I grew up in Parkport in public housing projects, so I was a public housing kid.
Okay.
And I was selected.
Me too, by the way.
Yeah. And so I attended this Mayor's Youth Leadership Institute, and it just opened up some thoughts in my head, because I grew up on 14th Street in Northwest, and I saw the 68 riots happen right outside of my door, and I always wondered, like, what in the world would make people tear up the whole neighborhood? And it made me do some research about Dr. King and the movement, and so I always had that in my mind.
You know, the relationship with Marion Berry, having been a part of his Youth Leadership Institute that he created in 1979, and to be honored to say I'm able to work with these young people still to this day is a blessing.
DC needs you, man.
Well, thank you.
I remember standing with you and Councilmember Marion Berry on the steps when you all started to initiate. It's been over a year. You've been sticking with it, man. You've been pressing through. And I'm so grateful that you did, because our small businesses are really the lifeblood to a healthy economy.
He talked about when he was a boy in Mississippi, in Tennessee, he had to collect rags in the summertime to sell them to make money. And he thought that if he ever got a chance to do something good, he'd do a summer project. And that's why he started a summer jobs program.
I just want to give credit to Marion Berry and his administrations. I know there's a lot of problems, but he believed in this, and he put money in it, and all these programs that we use now are really to his credit. We grew ourselves from that.
Well, I really appreciate that reference to Marion Berry, Mayor for Life. Well, there you have it. Another exciting episode of the Doing Good movement. I certainly hope you were inspired and encouraged to continue to do good. Hey, listen, hit us up on all the social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and show us pictures and clips of you or somebody you know that's doing good in the world around you. I'm your host, Tom Brown, and wherever we see you, we just hope you're doing good.